All in all, welcome to another update from Wemblesden Park. Last weekend we went over to the Model Railway Show at Shildon at the Locomotion Museum, mainly to get a few last minute bits and pieces for the layout before we attend Rail-X in about 7 weeks. One thing I did pick up was this little kit for simulating the welding. To be honest, I was expecting a little bit more with it. Essentially it's just a little circuit board with a flashing blue LED on it and a white LED that just flickers, so I've had to get a little bit creative with the placement of it. As you can possibly see, I fitted like a white reflective board underneath the shunter to bounce some of the light back up, and I've made a screen to fit round which bounces the light back up onto the front of the O3 there, so it gives the visual effect. The other problem I had with it was that it was running continuously when you put power to it, and I'd wanted it to flicker on and off. So after much playing around and going through the scrap box, I went back to using the last of the Volvo relays, which is this pinky coloured one. Originally this relay here used to control the intermittent function on the rear wash wipe. So what I've done is I've taken the thing apart. I've changed a couple of capacitors on the circuit board, which has altered the timing sequence of it. Next to it, this little black thing here is a 2-second delay relay. What this does is when you power it up, after 2 seconds of applying power it switches on. So this actually switches on the welding simulator, and this unit here actually switches the power off to this to reset it. So as you can hear, you can hear it clicking on and off here. And if I keep quiet, you might hear it clicking with the effect. So not exactly a high-tech solution, but it works, and it looks visually, it's quite eye-catching, and it's what I wanted to do with the effect. Other things I picked up at Shildon, I picked up some bits of fencing because I was missing some fencing along here. I've got to cut another short piece to fit down this side. So once it's all painted up and that should really finish this area off. Another item that I picked up at Shildon were these rather snazzy looking trees. They're a little bit day glow at the moment. The plan is to give them a dust coat with some matte black paint, which will tone them down, but it's given this area of the layout some much needed height. It's actually quite dramatic standing here looking over it. That's the underground station on the DC lines. They weren't bad, these one of the trees. They are 15 centimetres or 150 millimetres tall, and they were £1.50 each, or it was buy 4 and get one for free, so I got 5 for £6. I'm just kicking myself because I actually could do with getting some more of these. Last night I had a look on eBay and I found the exact same trees. They're only available from China, and you can get 5 of them from China for about £3.50. So what I've done is I've taken the plunge and I've ordered another 10, but what I've done is I've split it between 2 separate suppliers, so hopefully at least one set of trees will turn up before the show at the end of July. Another little thing worth noting is this street lamp here. One thing I realised was I have forgot to put street lamps, so today, later on, I've got this roll of very strong sturdy garden wire. It's actually used for fencing. I'm just going to bend this into shape and paint it, and that should give me the illusion of a few street lamps with the layout. There's a fair few repairs to do to this. All of this brick paper needs tidying up. This all needs sticking down. This needs repairing over here. It's all come adrift, so I'm going to have to somehow take this off and rebuild it with something a bit more. Whilst we've got the boards out of the shed, I thought it'd be an opportunity to put the bus back in its position. This now looks much better in London Country livery rather than the red that it was painted in previously. I actually had a guy at a show, I think it was Shildon last year, who was leaning right over the layout and he was questioning what bus company it was, so I got no excuse now, it's London Country. The back here, this is one of my Volvo estates. It's a resin copy of one of the little Oxford ones, but as you can probably see this one has been modernised. It's got an 80s style front on it, 80s style bumpers. It's typical of a 240 estate from sort of about 85, 86 onwards. So just bring the camera around. I got two of these as well yesterday, these little blossom trees. Again, they were only £1 for a couple, so they weren't too bad value. This needs tidying up somehow. This panel actually is removable because underneath this is where the DC lines come through, so I have to fit a servo in there at some point in the future, hence this panel comes out to gain access to it. Just moving along a little bit. I could do with a little bit more detail into the front of the flats. The back of them still need the windows putting in. I might get around to doing that if I've got time. There's some repairs to do down here. When we took the layout to Newcastle back in November, we were taking it down, I accidentally broke the stairs off there, so that's one repair that needs doing. Down here, there's the other blossom tree, and I'm thinking of actually putting one of these large ones here, because I think again it will give it a little bit more height. So as I say, it depends on if they turn up before the show at the end of the month. The back of the town centre I thought could do with brightening up a little bit, so again I'm going to create like a little roundabout kind of thing in the middle of here, and if you pop a tree in, suddenly it really does give it that little bit of colour. So technically I can get away with it because the roots wouldn't actually intrude on where the box would be in theory for the station. When the shopping centre was built, you can sort of see the direct line between the shops, so anything this side is actually the original foundations, where everything this side was cut out for fitting the station in, so I can get away with that one. Another possible location for a tree might be over here by this shop at the front. Again, it's really hard to sort of visualise it with the layout, because as you can see I'm up against a garage wall here, so it's quite difficult to picture in my head. I have to keep going back to YouTube and looking at the video when we had it set up. Another tree possibly be going up here, again to give it a bit of height near the library. Moving back to the other end of the layout, I'm thinking of putting one just about there. Again, I think that would go quite nice. A bit of visual interest next to the house, so there'll be a tree over there. At the top of the road, possibly another tree up here. I definitely want to have one over here near the school, and quite possibly maybe just put one up there, and I can't really get to it at the moment, but probably over there where the British Gas van is I'll have another tree there, and if there's any spare I might sneak a couple in at the back of the school. Well, that's about it for today. For future updates, please like, share and subscribe, or you could also follow us on our Facebook group. Until next time, take care, goodbye.